Hi, this is Brandon from Watches on You. Today we're going to be taking a look at a very interesting piece. This is the Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch, Dark Side of the Moon. Let's drop down to the inspection pad and we can take a closer look at this piece. Alright, so let's take a closer look at the Dark Side of the Moon here. Now, right off the bat, I just want to let you know that we're filming this here at JB Hudson Jewelers in Minneapolis, Minnesota, who's an authorized retailer of Omega watches and many other brands as well. They also have a pre-owned selection that is just pretty much unmatched in this local area here. So let's actually move on to the rest of the review. Now, right off the bat, you guys can see that this watch has sort of both polished and brushed ceramic surfaces on the case. It is completely made out of ceramic, so it's highly scratch resistant. I mean, it's just such a unique watch, and especially because this is kind of the murdered out version. There are a bunch of versions of the Dark Side of the Moon with a variety of color combinations, but this one is extremely popular. I'm sure you've seen this on the wrists of many celebrities on talk shows. I mean, there's a whole slew of people who wear this watch. It's not necessarily my cup of tea. I think it's a little bit too dark and a little bit too kind of sporty, but that's just my opinion. A ton of people like this watch. So let's move on to the rest of the watch. The watch has a 44.25 millimeter case size, which I'd say it looks a little bit bigger in real life. I think it might just be because of the whole black mass on this watch. It just makes it, again, look a little bit bigger. So let's actually move on to the case back, which is something I really like about this watch. As you guys can see, it has a caliber 9300 coaxial movement. I mean, it's just beautifully finished with that spiral design on it. It just looks fantastic. Now, this watch has 2 barrels, which gives it a power reserve of 60 hours, which is very impressive. I like anything over 48, as you guys have seen in previous reviews. And I just think this is just, I mean, it's a really cool watch. Again, it's not really my cup of tea. Now, moving on to the strap here. The strap's kind of interesting in that the back is made out of leather, and then the front is a coated nylon, which makes it very comfortable and also very light, which again plays into the sporty nature of this. So let's actually move on to a wrist shot here. All right. So Omega's clasps on straps like this are just super easy to put on and take off. I mean, it's just such an easy action, but it's also very secure. They did an excellent job designing this. So as you guys can see, the 44 millimeter case size is a little big on my wrist, and I'd say I have kind of an average to slightly above average sized wrist. So I see this more on the wrists of people who have larger wrists, but sorry to use wrists in about 40 times in 3 sentences there, but I think you guys get the point. Now, before I forget, I'll demonstrate the chronograph action of this watch. Now, one kind of interesting thing about this watch is the black dial makes it very hard to read. It's kind of a fashion statement more than an actual tool, in the sense that chronographs are usually used as tools, and the original Moonwatch was definitely a tool watch. But either way, it still is very functional, and the action on Omega's chronographs is pretty much unsurpassed. It's fantastic. So I'll reset it here, and as you guys can see, the button just the seconds hand just flies back there. So if you like this video, please remember to subscribe and share.